a tutorial on SOHCAHTOA. So, SOHCAHTOA is a type of trigonometry which can only be used on right angle triangles. I like to put SOHCAHTOA into little triangles, a bit like your speed, distance, time triangles, to make rearranging a bit easier. So first, what does SOHCAHTOA stand for? The S, the C and the T stand for the trigonometric functions sine, cos or cosine, and tan or tangent. Now in the brackets here I've put this Greek symbol theta, and that represents the angle that is not the 90-degree right angle. So SOHCAHTOA slightly different to Pythagoras, where Pythagoras is lengths only of a right angle triangle. You do not need to know either of the angles to be using Pythagoras. The O stands for opposite, the H stands for hypotenuse, and the A stands for adjacent. So step one with any SOHCAHTOA question, I like to label opposite, adjacent and hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the side that is opposite the 90-degree angle, and it is the longest side of your right angle triangle. The adjacent is the side that is sandwiched between your two angles. And the opposite is the side that is opposite your angle, not the 90-degree angle. So let's do an example question. We have a right angle triangle and we have a 50-degree angle. We know that this is 8 centimeters long and we are asked to work out the value of x. Step 1, we label the opposite, adjacent and hypotenuse. Step 2, we look at what we know and we look at what we're trying to find out. We know the adjacent and we want to find out the hypotenuse. So we refer to our SOHCAHTOA to work out which equation we're going to need. We need to use the correct equation that contains both the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So we're going to be using CA or cos. So we want to find the hypotenuse, so that's the one we're going to cover up. So the hypotenuse equals, we see that the A is on the top, and then we have a line that represents divided by, and then C at the bottom. Substituting what we know the adjacent is 8 centimeters, and we divide this by cos of the angle, which is 50 degrees. We type that into our calculator, 8 divided by cos 50, and we get an answer of 12.445, so to one decimal place, 12.4 centimeters. So that's if we're trying to find out lengths. What if we are trying to work out the missing angle? So we look at another right angle triangle, and we've got a 10 centimeter line and a 12 centimeter line, and we're asked to work out the size of the angle. So same step 1, we label the sides. We have got the adjacent, we've got the opposite. We don't know the hypotenuse, but that's not what we've been asked to find out. So we are looking for the correct trigonometric ratio that contains both O and A. So we are going to be using TOA. Now this time what we cover up is the tan of the angle. So we're covering up the function that has the angle attached to it. So that's to say tan of your missing angle is equal to the O's on top, then we have the line for the divide and the A on the bottom. So the O is 12 and the A is 10. Now if we just typed into our calculator 12 divided by 10, we get an answer of 1.2. This is not 1.2 degrees. Now the tan of the angle is 1.2. So how do we just work out the angle? And this is where we need to use the inverse tan. So we do the inverse tan of 1.2. So that is on your calculator the shift and then the tan button, then your answer. Press equals and we get an answer of 50.2 degrees to 1 decimal place.